Hi there, I just thought I might show you one of the things that has really helped me with gardening, and it is basically note keeping. And I've got this old-fashioned, because I'm quite an old-fashioned girl, Filofax system, which is actually in a ring binder setting here, so that way I can take out pages and put in new pages as and where I like, rather than having a book where you're sort of stuck to keeping the pages in the book's order, because it's quite useful. Just if you make a mistake, you can take a page out, or if you want to add something new, you can add something new in. So I have a Filofax system, and I just thought I'd give you a little show of my book, because if you are wanting to grow flowers or even vegetables or do jobs in the garden, something like this is a really useful way to trigger you to remember what to do at the right time. Because very often the things that gardeners have problems with is things not growing at the right time of the year, because they're sowing them at the wrong time. Very often the packets of the seeds actually put the wrong months on them, and so that way you can build up and learn and develop your knowledge more. So this is my very battered, as you can see, because it pretty much lives in the potting shed, Filofax, and I actually got it from Collins, because you can get lots of refills and things in there which are really useful. And it comes with these really useful tabs by month, that way I can then know what to do by month. And then, for example, to show you why it's useful to have all these individual leaves, under each month I've got all the years I've been sowing seeds year by year in my book. So when I first started, I just sowed a whole load of seeds at random and to see what happened. And then the next year I started working out which seeds grew and if they were a good germination or if they were a bad germination, and I would make a note, and then I would either, I've got a note up here, sow phlox did not do well, push on to March. So it's like trial and error, so you push it on to March and you find out if that's good for you. There is another point here: what works for me might not work for you. So I live in Suffolk, which is kind of slap bang in the middle of the country. So if I'm saying something for me now, people up north will have colder weather, so they might find it beneficial to wait a month more. Or people down in Cornwall will have warmer weather, so they might find that they can start things 1 or 2 weeks earlier than me. So if you keep a diary, that way you can track what works well in your garden, in your area, and you can track it year to year. Did it sow at the right time? And then you know that the following year that works really well, and to sow it again at that date. And I always put little dates down and say if it worked, and then if it doesn't, I will try it again the month later and then make a note if it worked or it didn't work. So I've got here all my notes, and I even put things like, you know, bells of Ireland, do not put in a soil block because they didn't work, or a certain seed was brilliant when I sowed it on, you know, in the middle of the month. Stuff like that. So here I've got a little note here. I've done 2 types of corn cockles. I've done a white one and a pink one. And I already know that the pink ones are always really, really reliable, so that's good. But I always say that the white ones, they did not germinate, and that was done at the end of February. So I had to re-sow those the next month. So so I did them on the 13th, and obviously they failed. And I've done them on the 28th, and they failed. It's like no germination. So it's taken note of that. That way I know that it's a very tricky seed, or it's a poor quality seed, or maybe it just needs moving on to the next month, and you actually work out by seed how something can grow. So I've even got at the top of my monthly page what kind of year. So this is at the start of the year. So I said that it was mild but blowy winter with lots of gales. And every year I actually make a note of what kind of winter that we've had, or what kind of weather we've had. Like I just did a sweet pea video, and I've noted that this year's been really unusual because we've not had those frosts. It's actually been quite mild and warm. Seeing the blue sky behind me. Normally we've got quite a lot of frost this time of year. So it's noting things like that, because even things like the weather and what Mother Nature's doing will affect the quality of your germination. These Filofaxes are really good because they come with this alphabetical reference as well. So you can see if you're wanting to learn about a particular flower, you can actually write about it. So if I look under P, so here I've got that I was writing about phlox when I was learning about it, and the secret of that was excluding the light. So it's just making those notes that help you learn to be better at growing different types of seeds. So if you're wanting to learn more about your garden and seeds, I really recommend getting yourself your own Bible for your garden, just to sort of understand the seeds, because even, like I was saying, year to year, even the humidity changes. So this year my greenhouse has got really great humidity in it, and that really helps promote the seeds to germinate really quickly and the little baby seedlings to grow quicker. Whereas normally this time of year it's a lot colder and grayer, which slows everything down. So year to year is always different. So it's always really good just to have a reference note for your garden and the seeds that you like sowing in your garden, and just make little notes and learn to develop your knowledge in growing your garden with lots of flowers, and just enjoy the gardening experience. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed that. See you soon.